Hi, I'm Beth of Earthshine Yoga with Beth, and I'm just bringing you today a nice short yoga sequence done from a chair. It just takes a few minutes out of your day to give yourself a little bit of energy and a little bit of stretch to make yourself feel a little bit better. So from a chair, and really any chair as long as your both feet can touch the floor, slide yourself forward just a little bit. And then lift yourself up and out of your low back. Maybe even place your hand there. What that's going to do is that's going to tilt the pelvis forward and bring your weight onto your sit bones directly underneath you. We spend so much time seated, whether we're driving or whether we're typing, and what happens is over time our posture starts to get compromised. And we start to dump and round into that low back, and when we do, our weight shifts onto our tailbone. Or we're sitting ourselves forward and leaning forward, and that is shifting our weight onto our femur bones. So we want to find those sit bones. And then from there, maybe inhale the shoulders up to the ears and then set them back down. And then when you do, pull the shoulder blades together just a little bit and feel that expansion across your chest. When we start to slouch and round, what it does is it compromises our chest. It kind of brings the shoulders in, and then what happens is we start to have a very shallow breath. So when we check in with our posture and open it up, we can take those nice big deep breaths, which just help us all around and also help our nervous system. So find that tall posture, check in with the pelvis, check in with the low back, and then relax the shoulders. And then from here, bring the chin down to the chest and just start with a couple of neck circles to the right or to the left, it doesn't matter. Just nice and slow. Just checking in, loosening everything up. And after you've taken 2, 3, 4 rounds in one direction, next time the chin comes to the chest, pause, and then move in the opposite direction. Yoga is all about creating balance, symmetry throughout the body. So when you feel like you've given equal attention in both directions, bring the head back up to neutral. Check back in with that posture. I know it sounds redundant, but a lot of times you'd be surprised how easy we forget, and we just go back to that natural kind of slouching posture that we're kind of used to, and that's simply just habit. So pull those shoulders back, and then from here sit yourself up nice and tall and bring your right arm up to the ceiling and then put a bend in the elbow. You're going to bring the left hand around and bring the fingertips to that elbow and then gently draw it up and over. So stretching underneath the arm and then stretching into the right side of the body. And as you hold these for just a moment or two, just remember to breathe. And then slowly bring yourself back to center, open up the arms, reach up, and then just switch sides. So the left arm is bent, the right fingertips are on that left arm, and then draw it up and over. And then slowly just bring yourself back to center. Release the arms and maybe even stretch the arms out wide so the palms are facing out and you're opening the chest. And then you're going to bring the hands in front of you, bend the elbows, and reach them either behind the neck, maybe for a little bit of support, or just at the shoulders where the shoulders meet the neck. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to lift the chin and the elbows. So you're really opening the chest, really stretching the spine, stretching underneath the arms, remembering to breathe. And then go ahead and draw the head back to neutral, release the arms, and just let the hands rest on the lap. From here, we're going to come through a few rounds of seated cat-cow. So finding your breath, on your next inhale, lift the chin, open the chest, make it nice and exaggerated. And then as you exhale, round through the spine, drawing the chin to the chest. So just alternating then between the two, just moving nice and slow with the breath. The breath is so important because it gives us something not only to focus on, but it also calms our nervous system when we slow the breath down. We're also feeding our body all of that nice good oxygen. So next time the chin comes to the chest, Use the next breath to come right back up to neutral and checking in with that posture again. So from here, take your inhale and draw the top of the head up towards the ceiling, and then take a little spinal twist to the left. You can bring the right hand outside of that left knee just to stabilize yourself. You really don't want to use it for any leverage because you don't want to twist your spine outside of your normal range of motion. So you can even bring your hand to the side of your chair for a little bit of support depending on what your setup is. Continuing to breathe, and then maybe eventually the chin comes around towards that left shoulder. One more nice big inhale here, exhale out. And then with that next inhale, draw yourself up to center and then exhale to the right side. Holding for a moment, remembering to breathe, maintaining that nice tall posture. And then let's go again now to the left side. And then one more time back to the right. And then back to center. Same thing, check in again, roll those shoulders back, open that chest up. And then we're gonna come into the legs and the hips. You're gonna leave that right leg on the, right leg bent with that right foot on the floor, right where it is. And you're gonna bring the left ankle on top of that right knee. Now, if this is not accessible for you or it's not comfortable for you, you can straighten that right leg. Put a little flex in the foot, and you don't even have to keep the ankle above the knee. You can just cross the left foot right at the right ankle. You're still getting the external rotation of that femur bone, and you're still getting the same stretch. Just check in with that right foot and make sure that the foot is flexed to protect that knee. And then we're back to that posture again, sitting ourselves up nice and tall. And with that tall posture, then you're gonna start to forward fold. So maintain that nice flat back. And then as you do, you're gonna notice a nice stretch coming into that left hip and the outside of the left hip. It's important to maintain that nice tall posture because it maintains the integrity of the low back. If we start to round, then we're taking too much pressure into the back, and that's gonna strain. And we wanna keep this right in the hip. That's where our focus is. Hold for one more breath, one more nice big inhale, one more nice long exhale, and then the top of the head comes back up, checking back in with that posture again, set that left leg down, and then we're gonna come into the other side. So you're gonna cross the right ankle onto that left knee, or that left leg is extended long, little flex in that right foot, protect that right knee, and then we're back to that posture again, sitting up nice and tall, and then gently finding that forward fold. You just want to hold for a few rounds of breath. Just really let that stretch get into the muscle, maybe even into the joint, the tendon and the ligaments. And then slowly come back up. Uncross the legs, maybe extend the feet a little bit, windshield wiper the feet side to side. And then I got one more stretch that I want to show you. And depending on what your setup is, if you can't get to the back of your chair, this can be done at a wall, or it can even be done at a countertop. So you are going to place your hands on the wall or on the countertop or on the back of the chair, just depending on like I said, what your setup is. Place your hands there and then start to walk the feet back. And you're gonna start to hinge at the hips. So there's might be just a tiny micro bend in the knees, and then you're going to open the chest, bringing the ears down towards or in between the biceps. So the back is nice and long. So you're getting a stretch through the whole posterior side of the body, through the back of the legs, through the low back, through the spine, and even underneath the arms. This will feel really nice on the low back, especially if it gets a little bit tender. Like I said, if you spend a lot of time at a desk or in a car. Take one more big breath here. And then it's always bringing the focus to the top of the head, because that's going to allow you to maintain that nice long spine as you slowly come back out. Stand yourself up nice and tall. And maybe even come back to your chair. And just remember that if you don't have time to make your way through these stretches, you can always just take a minute, check in with the posture, sit yourself up, open up your chest, maybe close the eyes, and just take a few rounds of breath. A nice big inhale through the nose, fill the chest up, let the belly expand, and then a nice long, slow exhale out. And just doing that 2 or 3 times, you can just put that, sprinkle that anywhere in your day, and it's just as beneficial. You can get just as much out of it. So I want to thank you for sharing your time with me. You can access this video and many other videos on my website, earthshineyogastudio.com. Under the tab free pre-recorded classes. You will also be able to find access to my YouTube channel, Earthshine Yoga with Beth. And if you happen to stop by, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe or maybe even like this video. So thank you, have a good day, and namaste.